This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 639.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Hello, everybody. This is Adam Philby, host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. There are none. No WordCamps next weekend. So take the weekend off. Go have fun and watch something on WordPress.tv. Okay, moving on. Segment one in the news. Only one thing, and that is the fact that WordPress 7.0 came out last week as expected, based on the delay, and there's a lot there going on. There's some drama about it. We'll get into that maybe next week about the AI aspects of it, but it is all about AI integrated into WordPress, modernized dashboard, searching with Command K or Control K, which is pretty cool. It's been there for a bit. So check it out. Of course, before you update, make sure you have a good solid backup if you are running something that is mission critical, just because it never hurts to have a good backup. Yeah, so there's that. Is that it in the news? Yeah, that's it in the news for this week. And moving on now to segment two, the meat potatoes. It's been 8 weeks, so that's fine. That means it's time for another listener Q&A. I have a mix of questions this time. Came through some beginner stuff, some advanced business, marketing. Anyway, first one, this is from Jake, not from Allstate, but just Jake, didn't say where he's from. Is WordPress still worth learning in 2026 with AI website builders seeming to be everywhere? Well, yeah, absolutely. And I've talked about this. And some of these questions, as I went through them, by the way, I've talked about before, but since they're still coming in, I'm going to answer them again. Yes, Jake, absolutely. Because AI tools can help generate layouts. I use them. I use them a lot, but it's a starting point. And they also help with content and code snippets. But truthfully, WordPress is still the foundation powering a massive portion of the web. Businesses still need flexibility. They need ownership. They need integrations, SEO control, scalability, all the things that we always talk about. AI does lower the barrier to entry. It does not replace strategy, content structure, accessibility, performance optimization, or even long-term maintenance. It just doesn't, not yet. And not to say that it won't change in the next 12, 16, 18 months. It very well could. And things have changed so much already, but keep in mind, yes, it's still worth learning WordPress. So, okay, second question. This is from Melissa. How many plugins is too many plugins? Oh yeah, I've answered this before. It comes up a lot for some reason. And the basic answer is there is no magical number. A very well-coded site with 35 plugins could outperform a poorly built site with, 8 or 9. The better question here, Melissa, is whether the plugins are maintained, necessary, overlapping in functionality, or slowing down the site. So it goes to that it depends question. And I have sites that run with 4. I have sites that run with 14. I think the most I've ever had is about 20, low 20s, just because, WooCommerce and some email marketing stuff that's embedded in there. So in the 20s, I think is relatively average. 15 to 20, I think I wonder if there is an average. I don't know, but that's my experience. Okay. Question 3, this is from Trevor. This one actually, Trevor from Boise. Don't know who Trevor is. New listener, maybe? Hey, Trevor. Anyway, what's the biggest mistake beginners make with WordPress? Ooh, that's a great question and interesting. I think trying to build everything perfectly before hitting publish, because I think a lot of people, myself included, spend months tweaking themes and plugins before or even ever launching. So I believe that the momentum in publishing useful content usually matters more than perfection. Yeah, I say that. It's hard for me to sometimes implement that myself, but I do believe that, it's that momentum. It goes back to that aspect of do something for 5 minutes, just get going on it, and then 5 minutes might lead into a half an hour. So, just hit publish, go ahead. So I think that might be what hold beginners back. Okay. All right. Next question is from Sarah. Do I really need managed WordPress hosting? Yes. Well, I'm going to go with yes at this point. But not everybody does. Many hobby sites are probably fine on budget hosting. Starting out of the gates, you don't need to spend, hundreds of dollars for hosting. But you do get what you pay for. I learned that the hard way many, many years ago. But I also started like you or other people, with the old, $2.99, $5.99, $7.99 hosting, and that's fine. But when your website becomes an important part of a business, managed hosting will help with that immensely, with backups, security, staging environments, support, and performance. And if not an actual direct connection to the company, maybe with a company that provides maintenance and ongoing support, like my agency does or other agencies out there. So yes, I think it is necessary for a certain project or a certain business model, but not for everybody starting out. Okay, so I hope that helps, Sarah. All right, question number 5. This one is by Danny. What is one security tip every WordPress site owner should follow? Oh, this is easy. And I've answered this before, but keep everything updated. Most WordPress hacks happen because of outdated plugins, abandoned themes, weak passwords. What else? And poor hosting. Like back to the question ahead above. Or before, prior question. Anyway, yeah, poor hosting can do that too. And that was what happened to me, like, I don't know, not quite a decade ago, almost a decade ago, but where the hosting got rooted and just, it just wasn't great. Anyway, also using 2FA would be huge in that case for security tips, and not just having quality backups in place, but knowing how they work. Like, do a test, take a backup, move it to another host, even if it's not live as a subdomain, or do it in local WP to see how do you get your backups to be implemented, or know someone who knows how to do that. So there's that as well. So, okay, hope that helps. Only a couple more questions here. Number 6, should I use a block editor or a page builder like Elementor or Beaver Builder? This is sent in by Chris from Phoenix. It depends on your comfort level and goals. Now, I'm still a big, heavy user of Beaver Builder, and I was anti the Gutenberg and block editor for a long time. I'm no longer anti. I'm just not as fast with it yet. The block editor, that being said, the block editor is clearly where WordPress is heading, but page builders still really offer a much faster workflow for those who are super comfortable with it. It's just a matter of experience. If you're coming in brand new, I would say, do what gets the job done. Use what gets the job done. For us, it's still Beaver Builder, but I am using Ollie a lot. So there's that. So, okay. And I think I have one more. Yeah, number 7, last question here. What's one WordPress trend you think people are overhyping? Lauren, this one's sent in by Lauren. Well, the idea that AI is completely replacing web professionals. I think AI is an excellent assistant. It's helpful in so many ways, but it's not a full-on answer to everything. Like I said, I've used it, I've tested it, I've shared how I'm using it. I might do some more sharing and testing, even through, I'm thinking most recently, Lauren, I might do some stuff on Twitch, show how I'm using it to build sites in the running part of my life. But I think businesses still need strategy, UX, editing, and accountability on how things are really done in a business perspective. Because WordPress is not the business, unless that's your business. But I think WordPress is the tool that helps grow your business, whatever that business is. We agency owners, you, myself, other people, we build sites for a living, sure. But that's not their business. Their business might be, selling financial services or consultancies or whatever it may be. So that's the thing. I think that company, you need to provide services to the company at hand, knowing that you are the expert in this, they're the expert in something else. That makes sense? Okay. I think that helps. Anyway, so a handful of questions, all good. Some repeated that I've done in the past, but I'm okay with that. Send them in. Every 8 weeks I do this. And if you're interested, I will also, I'm seriously thinking about doing the whole building out thing, doing some tutorials or live WordPressy work using Twitch. I have an account there. My Twitch account is so old. It used to be part of Justin.tv. That's how long ago I used to do this stuff. Anyway, okay. That's it for the Q&A. Moving on, segment 3, tip until the week. This one is a editor. I found out about this from the good friend of mine, Dustin Hartzler. It is cmux.com. And what cmux is, because again, I've been diving into more AI and more coding stuff. It is a terminal that's built for multitasking. It's written on some other platform, but it's amazing. It's pretty cool. You can use it for Codex. You can use it for open code, Claude. It has multiple panes. It works with Gemini, etc. It's free. There's I guess, is it Mac only? Well, showing for me, it's Mac only. I'm not sure, but maybe because it's looking at my browser. Nonetheless, it's over at cmux.com. Looks pretty cool. I'm testing it out as well, so check that out if you're into that type of thing. And that is it for this week. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@kitchensinkwp.com, or use the speak pipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, become a Patreon. That'd be great. There's a button on the website. You can also buy me a coffee there. If you want to sponsor the show, that'd be awesome. There's a form you fill out. I'll get right back to you. We'll talk and go from there. All right. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye. And hey, for those of you who realize I made a mistake, it's not Jake from Allstate. It's Jake from State Farm. No need to hit me up and tell me about it. I know some of you would have done that. I'm looking at you, Marcus, and maybe you too, Dustin.